Yo, what's up? The name of this right here is called Control the Will, right? You got to control the will at all times. The reason why I even came up with this right here, right? It's because I had one of my guys, not my guy, I could say my brother, called and he asked me for some, advice on something that he was going through. He got his woman and he got his baby mama under the same roof and they bickering. They going back and forth. So what they're doing is not giving him peace, right? And what I told him was this. I said, well, the thing what you got to do with that is that you have to lead the boat, right? And again, I'm not gonna put his name out there or nothing like that because see, it's bitch shit when somebody come to you and talk to you, and then you go tell like, hey, this is the person, this is what's going on with them and shit like that. Because I consider myself to be God gifted, so God gave me the wisdom to be able to speak to him about this shit. You know what I mean? So I'll be violating God if I did anything like that. So that's why I'm not gonna say no names, right? But back to the task at hand, right? I told him, I said, well, you gotta control the will. What you mean? What's the plan with them? Because you just can't be laying up there just fucking both of them and nobody's going nowhere. You gotta keep them useful. You gotta keep them working so they bring value. Why do you think a woman will go to work, right? A lot of the time they'll go to work, they'll do whatever they boss tell them to do. But soon as they get home and you tell them something to do, they'll look at you crazy. Because that boss keep them at work and he only gives them 25, 50 cent, a dollar raise or whatever the case is, right? Or may buy them lunch or something like that and they feel honored. You got to keep them in work toward the dreams and the goals that you done put out there for them when you brought them into your circle, right? See, what you supposed to have over that job she got on the plantation that she's working for is that job is just going to get them so far. Once you achieve one goal with her or with them, you're moving on to the next goal because you never stop growing. Because then that's when life gets mundane and boring. When you just stuck on the same shit. Right? You got to give a woman a reason to follow you. You ever seen somebody on the road, or just picture it, somebody on the road driving, and then the passenger is trying to say, no, turn left, turn right. No, you're going to lead us to a dead end. Then they grabbing the wheel and then they turning this motherfucking wheel, right? And they can crash y'all or you get into a car accident because they're not trusting you to lead. You gotta lead. You gotta let them know when they fucking with you that it's gonna be for a better future. More than just, a nigga who can spend money on them, a nigga that can just fuck them. Of course you got shallow broads like that. Yeah, you got that shit. But when you're a real one and you catch the real ones, that's the beauty. You see what I'm saying? That's the ones who you want to fuck with because they're yours. Now, one of the things, because I respect them on many levels, but one of the things I definitely respect them on is that he did bring them together and he letting them know what's up, right? Because that's real shit. Because I'm going to tell you this, no woman is going to respect a liar. Because if you lie to her, then that's you telling her you scared of her. You're insubordinate to her. You got to sneak and hide from her. And seeing that's what a lot of you niggas out here is doing out here, right? You're lying to your bitch about who you fucking and what's going on. You're doing all this weird weak shit, right? And it's weak, my nigga. I don't give a fuck who you is. It's weak. You gotta look them in the eye and let them know what's going on and give them a chance to accept it. And what's the value of being with you, right? And that value gotta be because you the truth, right? But see, a lot of you niggas ain't truthful like that. I don't give a fuck how well you can fight or the money that you getting. That don't mean a fuck thing. It don't mean a fuck thing because you're not being real with her. And to be for real, that's just like if you raping somebody, because they wouldn't do certain shit that they not aware of. So that's what you got to look at, my nigga. But back to the task at hand. That's what I respect about, my brother when he came hollered at me because he at least bringing them together. But one thing, I'm going to tell you this. A woman watches you at all times. Because if she trusting you to lead, she going to watch you. I remember I was asleep. And the bride I was fucking with at the time, and this was like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, she was watching me in my sleep. Something just told me, open my eyes, and I looked and she was staring at me, scared the fuck out me. But I understand, right, what she's doing. Women are a different species. And they're gonna test you. And you gotta be willing to pass that test all the time, right? And sometimes the test gotta be if you gotta let her go. And you gotta be willing to let that ass go if it's disrespect to your manhood. I had a woman tell me, wake up the king in you. And guess what? She was right. But when I woke up the king in me, I realized that she was a bride that I didn't need to be by my side because she wasn't operating in her feminine as a queen, right? Toward me. And I'm like, I gotta be a king regardless. So even if I gotta replace you, this is what I gotta do. See, it was cool to wake up the king of me once it was always beneficial to her. But the king looks is what's beneficial to him because he the one that runs it. He the one that runs the whole operation. And the king cannot sacrifice himself or anything because if he does that, everything falls apart. So, I hope this, it reached some people and how I'm really thinking. Because you got good women out there, but they gonna look at you and they gonna test you. They gonna see what type of man that you are. You know what man stands for? Master all nature. When you look at they talk about the stories of Adam and Eve, right? Um, Adam let his bitch wander off to go talk to a snake. And the snake was able to convince her to take a bite of the apple or whatever the fuck she was doing. But she was going against God, right? And when he convinced her of that, because Adam let his woman wander off, because the woman is searching for knowledge. If she feel you can't teach her, then she gonna try to boss up on you. Because that's what Eve eventually did to Adam. She bossed up on him. And that's why God was displeased. It's a sin to let her lead. It's a sin. You're supposed to be leading at all times. Lead with truth. Don't lead no other way. And everything will be good. Lead with direction and plan. Know what it means to be a man and follow that to the T. Master all nature, my niggas. Peace.